does chime in. It's going to be 2 a.m. there. What is the chatter I was telling you about?
Yeah, I assumed that.
Yeah. I think his name is Owen. We call him Cold. Though most people call him Cole because they hear cold and they think they misheard it as Cole.
I would assume that. And I would also assume that if, like, somebody called in to, like, a radio station and won a prize and somebody wrote down
Cold.
the name Cold, and I would be like, geez, they made another mistake and they wrote down the name Cold instead of Cole. I'm just going to change that. And then I'm going to send an email to a person that sends an email to another person that calls a person or texts a person to let them know that they didn't do that right.
And that would be totally reasonable and not petty at all for you to do that thing.
No.
Did you ever email Webb back? Did you ever reply?
About what?
Whenever he said, hey, I'm not going to be able to join you.
Yeah, I said, we are going to miss you. Have fun. Something along those lines. And then I saw that his wife posted a picture on Facebook, and they had, like, their cute glasses on.
Aw.
And then they had Yellow Brick Road cookies, which made me think that they're in a suite watching the show.
Cold, what's up? You did make it. It's 2 a.m. there. You're nuts. Holy, why did I just peek right there?
Hi.
Have we just been talking quietly?
Cold.
Hey, this is my co-host, Rebecca.
I wasn't listening when you told me what his full name was.
Owen, I think. Owen 1. Doesn't really make sense in this context, but would have been a funny joke. He says hello.
Hello. My name is Cold. Did my audio just cut out for a second?
No, I think your voice did.
I'm from Nathan's community. Nice to meet you. I'm also from Nathan's community. It is nice to meet you.
Nathan's Community College.
Oh.
That's where we met. Mm-hmm. All right, are you ready to get this thing started?
Yep.
Okay.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Is that you or the cat?
That's Freddie.
Okay.
He's about to climb a wall. I can see him eyeing it.
Do we want to throw him out before we start recording?
No. Oh, it's so cute. Do you want out? Come here, Freddie.
We'll be starting the podcast here shortly.
Do you want out? Yeah, break down the rest of the wall before you go. Do you want out?
You've never seen me on this nice of a camera, Cold. How do I look in 1080p? Or 720, actually. It's 720, but it's a 1080p camera. Actually, it might be a 4K camera. I don't know if this thing can shoot 4K or not.
He was taking a sweet time exiting the room, like left his tail in the door for a while.
Like as good as always. Perfect. Thank you. All right. You ready to start? Are you actually ready to start?
I'm actually ready.
We're just going to get on kind of wing the second half.
Jump it, kind of like the Chiefs.
Oh. Cold, there's going to be a little bit of American football talk at the start. We don't normally do that, but we were at a game recently, so we got to. Okay.
We're ready.
Let's do this thing.
Shall we begin?
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure?
It's time. It's time. Did you just say it's time?
Stay calm.
Mahomes gonna slide and throw to the end zone. Oh, what a catch! It is caught for the touchdown. Mahomes dancing around, spinning around twice, finds freedom, and in the end zone he finds Kelsey. They connect again for a touchdown. The goal. Takes to Edwards-Helaire. They toss it for the touchdown. Chiefs 3 for 3 down the field. Pass Ward. Look at him go. Inside the 20. Into the 10. Oh, he takes it the distance. Wow. What a jolt. Just when the Bengals needed it. Got to get it out. There it is to the end zone. And he comes down with it. Outrageous. What a catch. Open. Taylor. This game is tied. 11 points in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And Cincinnati storms back. 31 yards. McPherson. And Cincinnati is heading to the Super Bowl.
I did that. That's my fault. I can't help but feel partially responsible.
Ladies and gentlemen, episode 209 of the Vent Lab podcast.
Huge announcement here, guys.
You know, I suppose we should just
throw it out there.
Just throw it out there.
Just say it. Held on to it long enough now.
I think you're probably right. Kansas City Chiefs fans, my parents, my neighbors, I owe you an apology.
Webb Bixby.
Webb, I owe you all an apology.
It's true, he does.
I was at the Chiefs game the day they lost the AFC Championship. I watched them go from 21-3 to 21-24.
I don't even know.
Whatever the ending score was, I was there. I watched it. I watched it all happen, and I'm the reason why. Was I playing on the field? No, I wasn't. However, that did not prevent my grasp of unluckiness to reach down and catch the ball out of Mahomes' hands, put it into the Bengals, and send them on their way to the Super Bowl. I'm the reason that the Kansas City Chiefs will not be visiting LA.
It's true. I didn't believe it. Nathan's warned me. I've asked him several times to watch the game with me. And he's denied that, saying he's unlucky and he doesn't watch games because every game he watches, they lose.
Never seen a Chiefs game. Never seen a Royals game in which they won. Whether watching on TV or being there in person, I've never seen a Kansas City team win. And fully knowing that, I went to the game anyway.
He went anyway.
Was it a good experience for me? Yeah, it was fantastic. It was. It was a good experience. But was it a good experience for Kansas City?
No.
No. And I carry that guilt with me. The weight is upon my shoulders, even now. So from the deepest part of my heart, in all sincerity, Kansas City, I'm sorry. There's always next year, though. Am I right?
Okay.
Baby, we're coming back!
Okay.
I'm not going to watch a single game, Rebecca. Not a single game will be watched by this guy right here. Kansas City Chiefs, we're coming back. The AFC Championship, it's already in the bag. Don't even try other teams. It's ours. The Super Bowl, might as well just hand us the Super Bowl. We're basically eating cereal out of it as we speak.
I am never inviting you to another game again. If somebody invites us to a game, I'm not passing along the message.
Just like Patrick Mahomes wasn't passing the ball the other day?
Yeah, exactly. Guys, we got a seriously cool invite to go watch the game this last weekend with one of our Vent Lab family members, Webb Bixby. Invited Nathan and I to join him to watch the game. Did it cross my mind that you have mentioned before that you are incredibly unlucky and cannot watch a game or they will lose? Yes, I do recall that. It did cross my mind, but I thought, I'm not superstitious. That's crazy.
Crazy talk.
Nathan deserves to be able to watch a game.
Deserved.
I'm a believer now. I'm also superstitious now.
Not even like a little stitious,
I was a little
superstitious.
stitious. Now I'm full on superstitious.
Yep. Same.
Now you did avert your eyes at some point when they were losing.
Mm-hmm.
You decided you weren't going to watch. You were going to try to save what was left. You were going to give them a fighting chance.
After halftime, and yeah, like you said, after everything started turning around, I decided to myself turn around. I did not watch a single part of the second half of the game. I was watching highlights, putting together that intro, and I was like, so this is what was going on.
Nathan scrolled on his phone.
It was boring. I felt bad. I actually felt bad because it was this great experience and opportunity. We were there around people who were also experiencing this. And there wasn't a single person there who didn't think, wow, this is such a cool opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there eating M&Ms, scrolling through my phone. And I imagine there was a handful of people thinking, this spoiled brat, like,
it doesn't even care he's at this game, sitting in a suite of all things.
Yeah, behind the goalposts of the AFC Championship, Chiefs versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And yeah, that was not lost on me, the fact that I'm just sitting there on my phone. But if they only knew the amount of superstitious war going on as I scrolled through Reddit.
It was for the benefit of the people.
That was a sacrifice. I hope they understand. That was a sacrifice for me to sit there and scroll through my phone. I wanted to watch the game. I didn't go outside of the suite. I didn't look up at the TVs hardly. I just sat there and...
You spent some time in the bathroom.
I did. I was hoping that maybe if I got a little bit further away from the game, then things would start turning around. But no.
Didn't work.
Didn't work at all. So Chiefs lost.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to have to rewind a little bit, and then we're going to come back around and revisit this again.
All right. Oh, that didn't work. There we go.
All right, so we were gone last Tuesday. We did not record the podcast.
Correct.
Because, Nathan, I finally got.
No.
It got me. Over 2 years. 2 years into the pandemic, and at the peak of infections in the Kansas City region, I finally got with the COVID.
Rebecca, I'm so sorry.
I really thought I had escaped it because it started with my son.
Mm-hmm.
He had it. He got. And then my husband, he got 2 days later. And then it was like a full 5 days later.
Wow.
And I was like, I've escaped it. I've completely escaped this. Like, I have super immunity. I cannot be got. I'm better than everybody, obviously. At least my immunity is.
True.
And so I made it out of this thing. Cool. I'm like Matt Damon in Contagion. Like,
Weird that you didn't go with like the
die
Bourne
from
Ultimate.
this. Well, I
Ultimatum
mean,
or something.
Contagion was a pretty comparable movie to what's going on in the pandemic. So I felt like that was really good.
You're right. Let's go back. Erase what I said. It was dumb. You're right.
Okay. So Saturday, Nathan and I are supposed to host a show together. We've got Gargle-Oki on the docket.
Yeah.
I've been giving Nathan the daily update every single day. I'm good. Super immunity. I can host the show with you. No problems here. Saturday morning, I woke up and I was like, hey, new development. My throat is scratchy, but that's it. And my throat just responded. I was like, my throat is scratchy, but it's winter. I don't have a fever. I have no other symptoms. We're still good to go. And then I took my temperature and I had a temperature. And that was the end of it. I was not allowed to join Nathan in the studio. He had to do Gargle-Oki all by himself. Also, did you like how he just ignored you the entire time through the My Heart Will Go On recorder
Yeah, you nailed
session?
it. Listen, you nailed it. You're so strong. You came back stronger, really. Unlike the Chiefs the other day. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. All right.
Now I'm choking just like the Chiefs did the other day.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay. So I get hit with the COVID, and at first I'm like, well, At least I have the real mild form, low grade fever, scratchy throat. That's about it. And then it was the football game last Sunday, you know, like the best football game ever, where the Chiefs won in overtime. Not the time when they lost,
Bills versus
but
the
the
Bills.
time when they won.
The Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. I was laying down on the couch and severe muscle cramps, like back convulsions and stuff. Like, I was in a lot of pain, but that was a good game. And then it transitioned into this thing that I call cactus throat. You know, where you feel like you swallowed a cactus.
Right,
it's pretty
right.
self-explanatory.
Everybody can relate to that.
Yeah. Couldn't eat or drink anything for days. Fever continued, aches and pains. Anyway, it was pretty bad. But I got an invite on Sunday night, like with the COVID, from Webb saying, hey, there's a possibility I could be passing along some tickets to you and Nathan for this AFC championship game. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have COVID. I didn't say that right away. I was like, that would be amazing. And I immediately started counting like the day that my symptoms started. Like, could I actually go? I did the math and it worked out. I could actually go. But come this last weekend, I got hit real hard with COVID. Like, was not recovering like I had hoped. And on Saturday, the day before we're supposed to go to the game, we had to sit in a suite with Webb.
It was
and watch.
So
it was
cool.
sweet. Yeah, to watch the AFC championship game. And I was like, it's like when you get sick and your birthday's approaching and you're like, I'm going to be better for my birthday. I'm going to be just fine. And the closer you get to the more your dreams are starting to fade, like you think you might not actually be able to go.
Right.
Saturday, I was considering that I was going to have to give my tickets to other family members. Like, I just wasn't going to be able to go because I'm struggling to bounce back. I fought through it. You know the end because I ended up going. But what most people don't know is while I was there, I was so incredibly dizzy. Like, I thought I was going to pass out the majority of the time.
At the game?
Yeah.
And not because you were watching your team, like, absolutely choke.
Just die. Yeah. I mean, that may have added to it, but
Sure.
like, I could not stand for very long. I kept having to sit down. I wanted to just go curl up in the corner on the floor.
Imagine how impressed everybody would have been if you did faint. They would have been like, wow, she's such
a fan.
A diehard fan.
She's so into this that the disappointment of the second half just caused her to pass out.
Wow, I can only dream of being as strong as a fan as she.
Anyway, all that to tell you, I am not 100% with it tonight, and I'm still super, super dizzy. I'm okay. I'm not contagious anymore. And you've been around me for several days now, so you can get over the like moving out of my direction stuff. If you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it. It's too late for that. Also, everybody in the suite would get it, but
everybody at the stadium. Really.
I was past my 10 days in quarantine.
What if you got the Bengals sick? What if you got the whole Bengals team sick and they can't go to the Super Bowl and they're like, well, because the Chiefs have to go instead.
The cheerleaders did come by and see us, though.
That's true.
Maybe they took
Chiefs
it back to the field.
Also, speaking of which, cheerleaders, y'all need a raise. We looked up your salary. You're not making good money.
You're not.
As an NFL, as a Super Bowl winning team's cheerleaders, you're making doo-doo in comparison to the players. I mean, I get it. They got to do like some stuff on the field, but you're on the field as well.
You got to do stuff on the field too.
Yeah.
And you've got to go around during halftime and meet with all these people in suites.
PR and stuff like that.
I think you got the raw end of the deal.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you guys need a raise. You need a union. You need a cheerleaders union.
I actually thought that was already a thing.
Probably is a thing. Sucks though. The cheerleaders
they're
aren't
doing
getting
a
much
really
money.
bad job for them though, because they're just their pay is bad.
You know, I found interesting
what
about the game. Did you finish your COVID story?
Oh, I have a doctor's appointment on Thursday.
Oh, to see why you're still feeling poopy.
Dizzy and not
Gotcha.
breathing real great or anything.
You know what I found interesting about the game?
What?
The male cheerleaders. Now, I've known, okay, that there are such thing as male cheerleaders.
This was no surprise to you.
No. If you would have said, Nathan, male cheerleaders exist, I would have been like, yeah, obviously.
No way.
I know that
That's
for
like
a fact.
saying that there's a male nurse.
Ugh, gross. That doesn't
that's-
exist.
No.
Friggin' girl. But no, male cheerleaders exist, but I've always thought that male cheerleaders were the ones like doing all the heavy lifting. You know, like male cheerleaders existed
That they didn't
solely,
actually do like the cheer moves. They did the cheer lifts.
Yeah, they existed solely to lift up the other cheerleaders into the air and to catch them and stuff. But I got to tell you, the male cheerleader on the Chiefs team, he can pop it, lock it, polka dot it.
No, he can move.
Yeah.
That dude, there might be more than one.
I only saw one.
I
there
don't
might
know
be
who he is,
more.
but he is pretty amazing.
He can get it, you know?
Yeah, the Chiefs didn't, but the cheerleader, the male cheerleader,
Yeah.
he really came through even in the second half.
Yeah. You think there's a different term for a male cheerleader?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
Because sometimes like there's a barista. No, wait,
What do you
barista's
call a male cheerleader?
nothing apparently.
Here's what I found.
Nothing.
No.
No, just cheerleader. What about like cheer chieftain or something? That would be cool, right? Like you have the cheerleaders. Also, why is there a whole squad of cheerleaders? That's too many cooks in one kitchen. Why don't you have the cheerers and the cheerleader, a singular cheerleader?
It says, I don't know, maybe their name?
Okay. Is this on Quora? Of course it is. People on Quora are so sassy and unhelpful. I hate that website. I guess the audience in the bleachers would be the cheerers. But why is there so many cheerleaders? And why are they doing cheers that people can't follow? I just feel like there's a disconnect, you know?
No.
Cheerleaders, modern day
They do cheers
cheerleaders.
that you can follow, but then they do routines that to entertain you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not up in the suite doing backflips.
Okay, I didn't even know the cheerleaders came out on the field at any point until I was actually at a game myself. And I was like, oh, this is what's happening during the commercials. It was a very eye-opening experience. Also, the experience we just had was my second time seeing a Chiefs game ever. Both times I got to watch in a suite. So I have been ruined for life.
Yeah. You know what's also weird about cheerleaders?
Hmm.
The fact that football is the only sport that has them.
That's not true.
What other sport has cheerleaders?
Well, in high school, you've got basketball cheerleaders. That's in
All right, touche. Basketball and football. They're
But,
the only two, though.
wrestling. There's cheerleaders in wrestling.
There's not cheerleaders
In high
wrestling.
school wrestling, yes, they
We're
sit
talking-
they sit on the mat and they pound the mat and they do
I'm
their
sure
cheer
that sounded
sitting on the edge.
Great. Through the mic.
Okay.
So they're not really cheerleaders. They're just like mat drummers.
Sure.
And
No,
that
they're
doesn't count.
still
That doesn't count.
cheerleaders.
No.
they're
Wrestling
still
cheerleaders. Wrestling cheerleaders are the ones that couldn't get into the football or the basketball
No, they
cheerleading
just
squad.
they just do all of them, like all sports all year round.
I know.
Cheerleading isn't just like a seasonal sport. They all year they keep on cheering.
Which is why they should get paid more than the players.
Well, when we're talking high school cheer, there is no pay.
It's weird that baseball doesn't have cheerleaders because that's arguably the most boring sport to watch. You would think that if any sport needs an actual like squad of people whose sole job is to get everybody hyped, you would think it would be baseball.
Okay, but in baseball and soccer, they do have a sole human that's responsible for hyping the crowd.
Mascots do not count.
No, not the mascot.
Are you
Think
talking
of
about?
like what Hartzell does for Sporting KC.
I don't know what Hartzell does for Sporting KC.
He's there to hype the crowd.
What, he just
like-
stands there with a mic? And
Yeah,
like,
and he like yells and gets them to
Dude,
cheer things.
no,
and
that one
gets-
does not count. That
No.
one, that is not a cheerleader.
With sports like soccer and baseball, there's like one or two people that single-handedly like
When was the last time you went to a baseball game?
pep up the crowd. I don't know this. Well, I don't like. I don't think I've been since the pandemic.
Baseball, same, but baseball does not have a hype man. The hype man is the freaking hot dog running around the track.
Okay, well they do that too, but they do have hype people.
They don't.
Somebody back me up here. There's hype people at the games.
Baseball, there's no hype in baseball. You go to a baseball game, there's zero hype. The only hype you make or you get is the hype you make.
If you go to like the amateur baseball games, so like
T-Bones?
Yeah, T-Bones, but they're not the T-Bones.
The
they're
team
the Monarchs
formerly
now.
known as the T-Bones.
They've got hype people.
Yeah, it's because that's even more boring than like
the
professional
women's
baseball.
soccer league. They've got hype people. Like they just have hype people instead of cheerleaders.
I don't know what you're talking about with this hype people. You know what's a hype game?
Do you have Hartzell's number?
I don't have Hartzell's number. You think I'm cool enough to have Hartzell's number?
I mean,
Slugger is a hype man. He's a mascot. That doesn't count. I mean, okay. You know what? I'll take that back. A mascot is a hype man, but not a cheerleader.
They don't actually speak, right?
Right. But a mascot's sole purpose is to get everybody
not
hyped.
like the cutest mascot. Like,
wait a minute, like the Chiefs?
Oh my gosh, Casey Wolf is adorable, and those hips. And he starts swinging those hips around. And he's got the googly eyes.
I hate the Casey Wolf.
My gosh, I love Casey Wolf.
Just so we're clear, the Casey Wolf is the Kansas City Chiefs mascot.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the Casey Wolf. The Casey Wolf.
Why do you hate the Casey Wolf?
Because he goes out here with his like
hips,
with his hips and his little bit of a beer gut. He's wearing his Kansas City Chiefs pajama pants.
He has several different outfits
and like an ill-fitting shirt. If that is our representation of Kansas City, it's Kansas City, Kansas, and not Kansas City, Missouri. Which, as somebody who has lived on the Kansas side the entirety of his life, if you got to pick one side to represent Kansas City, you should pick the Missouri side, because the Kansas side of Kansas City is not as nice. All right, the roads might be in some areas.
Kansas roads are nicer.
Kansas roads are nicer, but like, if you're like, oh yeah, I was walking around Kansas City at night, they're like, oof, Kansas side or Missouri side?
You think the Missouri side is safer?
I think it's nicer. I think it has a lot more big buildings.
I think you're wrong. I think you're just talking about like downtown Kansas City,
which is on the Missouri side.
Yeah, but that's like the only part. Okay, it's not the only part. There's other areas, because I don't want to totally dish on the Missouri side of Kansas City. But I would say the Kansas side is nicer.
Anyway, my point is that I'm trying to make is that the Casey Wolf is white trash.
No, he's not.
If you had to like envision the house that the Casey Wolf lives in, it would be a trailer.
No. He's just so fun. I love Casey Wolf.
I hate that guy. I've always he just makes me feel unsettled.
Name one nice place in KCK.
True. Go for it. Try. Try. Any nice place you think of in KCK, you're like, well, the inside is nice.
I can't think of it right now, but I bet there's lots of nice places.
Yeah, you come back next week and name off a nice place in KCK. I'm right. Thank you, Pepperoni. I appreciate it.
What are some cool places in Kansas City, Kansas?
What kind of businesses are you looking for?
Any.
Okay.
Here's what I found.
Oh, Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Lansing, Leavenworth.
Perfect. It's a hotel and it's a Holiday Inn. It's not even like a Marriott. You know where Marriotts are? On the Missouri side. Wow, that was a cough. My gosh.
Really sorry.
Anyway.
Okay.
The point stands though, all right? Thank you, Pepperoni, for having my back. I appreciate that. And Alexa, or friggin' Siri, thank you for really driving that home. The Casey Wolf needs a diet.
No.
He needs a raise so he can move
and the way
out.
He moves those hips.
I hate it. It makes me so uncomfortable. It makes me so uncomfortable, dude. Makes me so uncomfortable.
I thought I had known everything about you, and then I just learned that you hate Casey Wolf.
The Casey Wolf has been renting for 15 years.
What's wrong with renting?
Nothing's wrong with renting, all right? But if you're the mascot of the Kansas City Chiefs, you should at least own a home. Save up, man. Stop buying cigarettes.
Oh, he doesn't smoke. Have you ever seen him smoke? No.
Nobody's walking around in public in his pajama pants, Rebecca.
That's one of his outfits. He's got several.
You know where
like
he
a
goes.
Barbie.
You know where Casey Wolf goes before the game?
To all the sweets?
He goes into a 7-Eleven and he grabs a pack of ciggies and a Monster Energy.
Okay, don't talk about Casey Wolf like that.
That's where the Casey Wolf goes before each game. That's his ritual. I don't like him.
What else do we have to talk about?
Let me pull up our show prep. And stop talking about the Casey Wolf.
I remember what we were going to talk about. Have you seen the movie Encanto?
Encanto?
Encanto.
No, I haven't. I have had no desire up until today to talk about it.
Okay, I
Or to watch it. Sorry, to
had
watch it.
no desire to watch the movie. At New Year's Eve, we were at your family's house. There's lots of kids around.
So many kids.
And your brother-in-law, Tucker, was talking about how great the music is in this show. And I noted that and was like, okay, maybe sometime I'll check it out. So I did. I checked out the movie. And there's a lot of great songs in it, but there's one called We Don't Talk About Bruno.
Yeah, check it out.
I don't ever stop singing this song. Like, at first I was like, it's okay. It's okay. And then I just did not stop singing it ever since I watched that. And every once in a while, during the day when I'm working, I look up the YouTube video and I watch it. And then I have it stuck in my head the rest of the day. Like, I just really like this song. And somebody else I like is Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah, the guy who did Hamilton, the musical.
Yeah, and I learned today that he wrote several of the songs that are in this movie, including We Don't Talk About Bruno. And so then I was like, oh my gosh, like this dude was like a background character in Timothy Green and several other movies, Mr. Popper's Penguins. And then in the background, he's like writing his own musical and then becomes like this huge deal and a musical genius. And now this movie comes along and I'm like, I love this song. And I find out it's Mr. Miranda again. Writing amazing music. So I watched him. Jimmy Fallon was interviewing him. And he was talking about when he was writing this song, he knew it was a hit right away because he's writing it. He's singing out loud. He's trying out different lyrics. His kids, just from overhearing him, were singing it constantly. And he had to like have this talk with them about like, hey, it's okay if you sing this at home, but you can't sing it at school with your friends. Like, this isn't out yet. And so they have this song, We Don't Talk About Bruno, but they were told you can't talk about We Don't Talk About Bruno.
You can't talk about not talking about Bruno.
Yeah.
In fact, just forget about Bruno. Just don't even.
Nope. Don't think about him. Don't talk about him.
Don't sing about
Nothing.
Bruno. Don't sing about not
Nothing.
talking about him.
Anyway, it's a great song. I tried to look into like the deeper meaning of it, and I haven't quite figured it out. I've watched like bits and pieces of the movie and watched it like from beginning to end, but didn't stay alert for the entire thing.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie. I will say this. I had no desire to watch this movie until I listened to this song. And I was like, okay, now I'm curious about the movie, which is a good sign as well. I also listened to it and was like, nah, it's not that catchy. And then I walked away like,
And you're still singing it.
yeah.
Well, if you spend any time at your house with all the kids that are around, I'm sure it's going to be playing consistently in the background. There were several other songs he talked about. There's another one that's about two caterpillars. It's Spanish for two caterpillars. I forgot about it, but he was talking about that.
Caterpillar.
No, I'm gonna have to go back and find what that song is. But it beat out Adele.
Yeah.
On the charts.
It's actually the first Disney song to reach the top of the charts since A Whole New World.
Yeah, it beat out Let It Go.
Yeah, Let It Go only ever made it to number 1. This song made it to Let It Go.
Like, wait,
Let It Go made it to number 5.
What tops number 1?
S. It's S. Let It Go made it to number 5, and this song made it to number 1, which is kind of insane because I hadn't heard this song or about this song until just now, but that just goes to show how big the world is and how out of the loop I am.
When I was sick, I did get to catch up on a lot of my movie watching. I did an extreme amount of movie watching in between sleeping. Part of this movie, I also watched Hamilton again. But I have this fear, like my kids hate that I love watching Hamilton. And I'm always afraid my kids are going to catch me watching it and they're going to yell at me. And Grace managed to stay asleep the entire time I was watching Hamilton. But my son Zach walked in and he was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry. It's almost over." Like I had to apologize for it. Is there something like that your parents watch over and over that you're like so annoyed with? Or they listen to?
The only thing that I get annoyed at my parents watching, which there isn't anything now since I've moved out, but anytime they would watch like Downton Abbey or any of these lame shows, I would put my heart and soul into suggesting like some really entertaining, really groundbreaking new shows that are on streaming services. And they're like, yeah, but all of the seasons of Bonanza are on. And so we can just stream those for about 15 years. So really just those.
I'm really into musicals. I also watched The Greatest Showman while I was sick.
I've never seen that one, but I've heard it's pretty overrated.
No, that's like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, still overrated, I bet.
Jay West and I binged 3 seasons of Yellowstone.
What is that?
Well,
is it
Kevin Costner
narrated by?
So I was telling you about the series 1883 that just came out. That's the prequel to Yellowstone. He's like got all of this land in Montana, and the Native Americans are saying, you know, you stole this land from us, and so and everybody's in a fight to get this land back. But he, you know, traveled there and claimed the land rightfully according to American law. But the Native Americans were like, nobody asked us. That was kind of ours. And then, yeah. So the movie or the show, the series, lots of inappropriateness, nudity, language.
Sounds perfect for you and Jay West to watch. Right down the same alley as like every other thing that you guys watch.
If you can get past
you
the
guys
nudity
are so gross.
and language. So great. It was
What?
great.
What?
So
if you can get past the nudity, it's so great.
We figured out something that if there was going to be nudity, it was going to tell us at the beginning. And we figured out which characters tended to have the nudity. And so whenever a scene was coming where it was like, yeah, they're going to be naked here soon, we were able to skip through it and skip most. I don't think we got caught like with any nude scenes. Like in the beginning, it was a shock. And then we were like, all right, so now we see it coming. Kind of like when you're watching Princess Bride and they're going through the pit of despair, the like forest. And there's like the ticking sound, and that's when you know the rodent of unusual size is coming or the fire is going to. Yeah, so we had some warning signs that would tell us that this was about to happen.
Oh, like they start taking their clothes off?
Yeah. And so we knew we should just go ahead and skip it.
I know where
there.
this is going. Yeah.
Yeah. So then Jay West was talking to his dad, and he was telling him about, he was getting ready to tell him about how he binge watched Yellowstone. And he made a comment about Yellowstone, and his dad was like, "That is the filthiest show. I would never watch it. And John Wesley was like, all right, I'm not going to tell my dad that I binge watched all the seasons of that one.
Yeah. Different generations there.
Yeah, lots of murder in that show. Lots of murder.
That's good. Murder's always good. Have you guys watched Arcane yet?
What?
Arcane.
What's Arcane?
It's an animated show. You wouldn't actually like it, but
that
Rebecca,
you told
it's
Grace to
so
watch.
good.
I
Did
don't
she
think
watch it?
No, she hasn't watched it.
Oh, it's
yet
good.
either.
And get this, no nudity, which is just insane. You know,
But
which is probably why you and Jay West wouldn't enjoy it.
Animated.
But it's good. You get past it. Trust me. Whenever the story is so good that you kind of forget that it's animated, and the fight scenes in that show are great.
I mean, I know I watched Encanto.
Yeah. What's the difference between a Disney movie and just like watching an animated series?
I think like if it's animated and it's specifically made for kids, and I know it's for kids for some reason, I'm there. But if it's animated but it's made for adults, it weirds me out.
Here's what I have to do in order to watch like an animated series. I have to look at it as art. Like, this is somebody's passion, and there's a lot of talent that went into this. This is like, and so then I can appreciate it. I know you're like, okay, it's kind of cringe, bro.
It is kind of cringe, bro.
But it's how I get past the whole, this isn't a cartoon that's made for adults. Like, you can't do that with The Simpsons. You can't be like, I enjoy The Simpsons.
There's so many other options out there. I don't feel like I need to trick myself into enjoying something.
I'm not saying I trick myself. I just change my perspective.
Kind of, well.
No. Okay. So me changing my perspective from like, this is a cartoon made for adults into this is actually like a form of art is tricking myself. But you saying this isn't, I'm not an adult watching a cartoon. I'm an adult watching a cartoon that's made for kids. So now I can enjoy it because it was made for kids and not for me. Isn't you like tricking yourself?
No, I'm not tricking myself at all. I just like watching kids shows. Also teen shows.
Oh my gosh, I cannot stand you. I can't stand being around you. Ugh.
Wow.
So annoying.
I'm just going to have to live with the fact that our show preferences will never line up.
No. Every once in a while they do, but.
Yeah. Did you hear about the teacher that recorded herself farting?
No, I didn't. Why didn't you tell me about it?
Okay.
That's called a transition if you've never seen what.
So we're in a digital world these days. A lot of kids still doing school from home, which means teachers have to adapt and overcome a lot of things. One of those things
Like
being
technology
and doing online tests and quizzes and whatnot. So there was a teacher who was doing a test, and I'll play a video in a little bit that's going to kind of explain it anyway. But she was doing a test where it would have the question, or she would record the question.
I believe it was like in Spanish.
Yeah. And she would record the question, and then they would have to write down the answer. Or in this case, she would have to record a phrase in Spanish and do it. Anyway, I'll just play the video because they explain it in the video. Oh, great. This is going to take me to Instagram. Thank you so much. I love that about this website. Can we just play it here?
Okay, so I'm in this French class, and there's this learning tool that we have where there's an audio of the question, and then we respond with typing. So normally the question will be like 3 seconds long.
Qu'est-ce que vous faites maintenant?
And then you would type in your response. So what's interesting about this one is this one's 2 minutes and 13 seconds, and it's all silence until this part.
Brace yourself. That is a confirmed fart, which I'm sure the teacher was thrilled about that. 629,000 likes.
Oh my god!
On that post, that's kind of insane.
You know, one of my fears, and for work, I record a lot, and I record my news reads very often and upload those. And every once in a while, there's like a mistake in there that I forget to cut out.
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh, that's like my worst fear. But every once in a while, like I'll belch or something and I'll be afraid, like, what if I one time like forget to cut that out? It's never happened yet. But I've made enough mistakes that I've left in there that I'm like, one of these days, it's bound to happen.
Would you rather a belch or a fart make its way on air?
Oh, a belch.
Yeah?
Yeah. A noise coming out of your mouth is way less embarrassing than a noise coming out of your butt.
What if it was like a big belch? Or
still way less embarrassing than a noise coming out of your butt.
What would it take to change your mind on this? What if it was the sound of you?
I don't know. Maybe if I looked at it like it was art, then maybe I could change my perspective.
Do not use that against me. It's true. It's art. You don't have an appreciation like I do. All right, it's a generational thing. I get it. I get it. What if it was the sound of you puking?
Okay, well, I did have the audio of Elvis puking in the background.
No, but I'm talking about you puking. The audio of you puking makes its way on
If I forgot
there.
to cut out the audio of me puking, I didn't try to edit anything.
I'm just saying, what if the audio of you puking made its way on air? Would you rather that or the audio of you farting?
No, I think I'd still rather have the puking than the
What
farting.
if it was audio of you saying
a curse word?
A bad word?
I'd probably lose my job over that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
2 strikes, isn't it?
I'm so thankful that I don't curse, because the amount of times like you mess up and somebody who does curse would, say something, and the chances of that getting left in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be real bad.
Can you imagine how much I would curse if I cursed? Like while I'm editing or doing any sort of like, dude.
Yeah, if you were a cursor, you'd probably be a major cursor.
Yeah, I would be like a freaking mouse,
Cursor.
dude. A cursor all around the screen, man. Yeah, I'm glad I don't. I'm glad I don't, because I've thought about that. People in radio, how they can just like turn it off when the mic goes on.
Yeah, but sometimes they can't. So it's a really big advantage if you've already got control of it when you go into radio, because the risk of having a hot mic at some point on at the wrong time is pretty high.
Yeah. You know what's weird to me though? Is that it's still like you're not supposed to curse on radio. And that's only weird to me because everywhere you look, there's bad words. I mean, like it's weird to me to an extent that you can't say a bad word on radio, but you can say it in the grocery store within earshot of a young child.
Okay, but
I get it's like the FCC or whatever. Like it's not like against the law. It's just regulations. But it's still kind of weird to me.
Okay.
I'm just saying, freedom from words, of words or something. I don't know. Regulations are weird to me.
I guess, if it's audio you're consuming.
Yeah. And if you don't want to, I guess it's because it's on a public platform or whatever, but like there's HD radio that they say bad words on and stuff.
Yeah, but you've got to like order that.
Right. So I don't know. It's weird. I guess it's because FM radio is free. And AM. Anyway, you want to hear about a new low that I've reached in my life?
Okay. Besides making the Chiefs lose?
Yeah. It's only L's for me recently. Just when I thought I couldn't get any lower in life, I have found a reason to be jealous of a pufferfish.
Okay.
The Columbus Zoo and Aquarium pufferfish, one of many, is recovering from cataract surgery.
I totally thought that was cardiac surgery.
Well, I wouldn't be as jealous if a pufferfish had to get cataract surgery. Though I guess if we were both in need of it and the pufferfish got it and I didn't.
Okay, so why are you jealous of a fish that got cataract surgery?
This dang pufferfish needed glasses, and they were like, we don't want the pufferfish to suffer through a life of glasses. Let's just do cataract surgery on it instead.
Okay, but I mean, glasses aren't even going to help the cataract. That's like, he's blind, basically.
Well, glasses do help you see, and blind is just absence of sight.
I know, but like, there's not much glasses can do for cataracts.
Not with that attitude, Rebecca. Not with that attitude. All I'm saying.
Could you imagine glasses on this little puffer fish, though?
I think it would be adorable.
I know. That would have been really cute.
I just don't understand, how human beings can look at a pufferfish and be like, let's do surgery to give it 20/20 vision.
Well, maybe it's more experimental.
They can experiment on me. I don't care.
Okay. Well, it goes bad, though. You're completely blind. Pufferfish are just so cute. Like, how is a fish that adorable? My son used to have puffer fishes, and I loved them.
Did he really?
Yeah.
But
they have to be in brackish water, which is really difficult to maintain.
Any of them have glasses?
No.
No?
I mean, they were in glass. So one big glass.
One big glass. A large glass.
Yeah, but this puffer fish is like out of the water, tube in its mouth. I'm not sure how they kept it alive. But I mean, they did surgery on its eyeball and it can see now.
What's in the tube? What the heck?
Are they like filtering water through the brackish water through the puffer fish the entire time?
Oh shoot, I think they are. Wait a minute. Oh, maybe it's stuff to keep it asleep. Maybe that's what it is. They're trying to keep the puffer fish asleep. Anyway, pufferfish are pretty cool. And it's cool that you can do surgery on their eyeballs. I wish I was a pufferfish.
He had really cloudy eyeballs.
Yeah.
Those cataracts. I wonder how old he is that he had cataracts.
That's a good point. About what age does a pufferfish's vision start going,
Yeah, I didn't think fish lived very long. We're both just sitting here reading the article now.
Yeah. This is interesting, doing a surgery on a pufferfish.
I mean, I guess you can do surgery on anything, right?
Bruno. I wonder if that was the pufferfish's name. Does Bruno serve a bigger purpose in Encanto?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You get to actually meet Bruno.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
Does he look like Lil Dicky? Because in this scene, he kind of looks like Lil Dicky a little bit.
Sure, and that's exactly what he looks like, and he lives in the walls of this house.
Oh, dude, what the Oh my spoilers!
Sorry.
Of your house?
No, the house in the movie.
Well, okay, I was giving you an out for the spoilers, but that's cool that you just went ahead and doubled down on it.
He's a really nice guy.
Bruno is.
Yeah. And the rats, that's not to be creepy. Those are his friends.
Oh, it's like Remy and the crew.
Mm-hmm.
From Ratatouille.
Yes. I was thinking more like Cinderella and her rat friends, but mice friends.
Different generations.
Uh-huh.
What do you hold on. My brain is resetting.
Still buffering?
Mm-hmm. What's the plot of Encanto?
I don't know because I haven't watched it like solid all the way through. I've like drifted in and out of it. I was really sick when I was watching it.
Okay. I think that's actually all I was going to say before my brain just totally shut down.
I will tell you this.
Okay.
I know that each child at a very young age finds out which gift they have. And I believe Bruno is the one who tells you what gift you have, but grandma plays a role in like presenting that. And there's a door and like the picture of your gift is on the door. I know the little chickadee with the glasses and the curly hair, she is told that she does not have a gift. and finds out at the end of the movie that wasn't true. But everybody has a unique gift and plays a role in the family. But Bruno was silenced when it comes to this girl's gift.
Oh, he was silenced.
He was silenced.
Oh, shoot. We don't talk about Bruno, and Bruno don't talk about that girl. I think Bruno can't talk about that girl. Rebecca?
Yeah?
It is a dark day in New Jersey.
Oh, I was going to say, it's a dark day in Kansas, too. We're actually right on the cusp of a massive snowstorm.
Yeah. Milltown Mel. The weather predicting groundhog, you know?
Yeah.
Milltown Mel. Milltown Mel. He died. He's dead.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he died. He's one day before Groundhog's Day. In fact, he bit the dust.
This year?
This year.
When's Groundhog's Day?
Tomorrow.
Seriously?
Yep. The pressure, he could not take it anymore. He suffered
Milltown Mel.
cataracts arrest.
Oh, jeez. Well, thanks, 2021.
Yep, Milltown Mel, he's gonzo. That famous...
Who's next? Dolly Parton?
Probably Punxsutawney Phil, to be honest.
Well, Punxsutawney Phil, isn't he more popular than...
Yeah, imagine being a weather predicting groundhog in the world where Punxsutawney Phil exists. You know, like you just can't beat that. He's the best. He's the GOAT.
I was real sad about Milltown Mel until I saw the name Punxsutawney Phil, and I was like, wait, no, the one that I always look to every year for the weather predicting abilities is Punxsutawney Phil. Who even is Milltown Mel? I got all upset about it, and then I realized I was actually thinking of Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah. Well, Milltown Mel is obviously from Milltown, whereas Punxsutawney Phil is from Punxsutawney.
But he's Punxsutawney is he's the TV star.
Right. However, all right, a little bit of drama. Milltown Mel's handlers claim they had a better record of predicting when spring would come. So Milltown Mel actually has a better record than Punxsutawney Phil. Punxsutawney Phil is probably a government shill and sees whatever he's told to see, if I had to guess. Whereas Mel was a bit more independent. Now, here's what I'm curious about. I don't know if you know this, but anytime Punxsutawney Phil dies, they just introduce a new groundhog and rename it Punxsutawney Phil.
Kind of like what people do with goldfish.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. So is Milltown Mel just gonna,
is this the original Milltown Mel, or is this just another replacement?
Tomorrow is Milltown Mel 2.0 or 7 or 8.0 gonna appear?
I wonder
or
if
is
it's
it gonna be
like
Milltown Melvin or Milltown Martin or
Will
Milltown?
it be a baby Milltown Mel? Because that's exciting then.
That would be pretty adorable.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know what a baby groundhog looks like.
Whenever I die, I want it to be right before work day. So good on him. Good on Milltown Mel, because I mean, right before your big day where you're really called in, that's the day you got to go to work.
My man works one day out of the year, and he called in sick.
And that's how it's done.
He's been on the verge of death for a while, but he was like, nah, I still got time. I'll die February 1st, the day before I have to work. Good on him, though. I respect that. Milltown Mel, good on you. Rest in peace, buddy. We'll see your replacement tomorrow, I'm sure.
I had the whole week off work last week.
Yeah, you did. How's this week going?
I'm there. I'm just really struggling. I got the COVID fog. And that's apparently a real thing because I feel it. And I know I've mentioned this already. I'm super dizzy. As we speak right now, there's a couple times where I almost just laid my head down on the table because I am so dizzy right now. Anybody else experience the dizziness?
The dizziness of COVID? I kind of remember that part. Okay, sorry to go back to this groundhog.
Okay.
I just envisioned a world, a universe where the United States, or rather the world, is invaded by an alien species. Can you imagine if we were invaded on Groundhog Day? How highly they would hold groundhogs? They'd be like, okay,
No.
so you guys are like the top of the food chain, right? Yeah. But that guy can predict the weather. Well, we do pretend that he can. So he can or he can't. Well, I mean, it's tradition.
I understand how this would be a confusing sight, and that groundhog would be assumed to be the leader that they are being taken to.
Yeah. I mean, there's a picture from 2 years ago of a dude holding up, like Simba in The Lion King, Milltown Mel in front of a crowd of people at a tree trunk looking lectern.
Mm-hmm.
The confusion from you know what, probably not even an alien species. The confusion from somebody from like a third world country and seeing this. Be like, bro, we got to get some groundhogs.
I mean, honestly, I've grown up in the United States and I've always been confused by this.
This feels like a weird sect of the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like men in suits and top hats. Why do they always wear top hats?
Mm-hmm.
And why is it a groundhog?
Yeah, I figured this only happens in Pennsylvania. Like, we just all look at it.
And New Jersey, I guess.
Everything's legal in Jersey.
Okay. You got to wonder if there's got to be like a group of people getting behind Punxsutawney Phil and Milltown Mel of like surely the rest of Philadelphia is like, or Pennsylvania? Is it Pennsylvania?
Mm-hmm.
The rest of Pennsylvania is like, can we cut it out? Like the rest of the United States thinks we're really weird. And they're like, no, this is us.
No,
this
we
is who
sell
we are.
T-shirts. This is what brings in the revenue, guys.
We have to do this. Phil.
This is our thing.
Phil is counting on us.
You know how Wisconsin has cheese? We have Punxsutawney Phil.
We have a groundhog. One day out of the year.
Does everybody else have a groundhog? Yes. But do they have Punxsutawney Phil?
Is it a weather predicting groundhog? No. I like to imagine that there are like all these people in top hats legitimately believe that Punxsutawney Phil and Milltown Mel and all the weather predicting groundhogs can legitimately predict it. And every time it's brought up in like a meeting, they're like, can we please just not? And they're like, what? No. How else are we supposed to know when spring is coming? And he can't actually predict it. Yes, he can. You're dumb.
After what I've seen the last couple of years from the pandemic, I get the idea that there's a lot of people that believe a lot of things that I didn't think that they would.
A new perspective on the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that too. World is a weird place for sure. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Those who joined us on live on Twitch or YouTube, thank you so much as well. We will be back hopefully next Tuesday, assuming weather is permitting and nobody is sick.
Yeah, I'm going to try and be more alert.
Yeah, for episode 210. But until then, patrons, will see you in the Let's Be Honest, and everybody else, we will see you next Tuesday. My name's
Hope you
Nathan.
got your bread and milk.
The bread and milk, is that what? Oh,
For
because
the
weather.
snowstorm, yeah.
I gotcha. Is there a snowstorm?
Yes.
I gotta get home. What the heck?
Okay.
All right. Bye. My name's Nathan.
I'm Rebecca. We out.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
I know I threw you off on that when you were already going in with your name, and then I was like, I'm going to say more stuff.
Yeah, if you could shut your mouth. I'm just kidding. No, I don't care. Grace, hello. You finally woke up.
You guys are wearing matching pants?
We are?
Yeah, man.
You like my new hair?
Yeah. It's brown. What?
No, it's not brown. It's blonde.
That's brown.
That's blonde.
Okay.
It's mixed
You
with
know what?
my...
It's blonde.
It's mixed with my black hair, so it looks like a skunk.
A little bit.
It's like an anime, like, I feel like it looks like an anime, like, hairstyle.
You do look a little animated.
No, do I? No, that is not brown. That is straight blonde.
Well, I wouldn't say straight blonde.
Well, it's not straight blonde, but I did it myself. That's blonde.
Totally. Totally.